Welcome back to the Devine Inspired Care channel. Thank you for joining us again. In today's health-conscious world, understanding the impact of carbohydrates on your diet is more crucial than ever. We live in a time where we have an abundance of food choices at our disposal. Whether it's a roll of bread for breakfast, a bowl of rice for lunch, or even a can of soda for a quick energy boost, carbohydrates are an integral part of our daily diet. But have you ever stopped to wonder about the role they play in our health and well-being? Carbohydrates are a key nutritional category that our bodies rely on for energy. They are found in a multitude of common foods, from grains and legumes to fruits and vegetables. But not all carbohydrates are created equal. They can be simple or complex, and this difference is more significant than you might think. Simple carbohydrates, also known as sugars, are the most basic form of carbs. They include glucose, fructose, and galactose, which your body uses for quick energy. When you bite into an apple or sip on a sweet drink, it's these simple sugars that give you that immediate energy boost. On the other hand, complex carbohydrates consist of multiple sugar molecules linked together. When you eat foods rich in complex carbs, like whole grains or legumes, your body takes more time to break them down, providing you with a steady source of energy over a longer period. But when it comes to carbs, it's not just about energy. The type and amount of carbohydrates we consume can have a significant impact on our overall health. For instance, choosing whole grains over refined grains can help maintain healthy blood sugar levels and support heart health. So the next time you reach for that roll of bread, bowl of rice, or can of soda, remember this: despite their differences in fats, vitamins, and other nutritional content, when it comes to carbs, these foods are more alike than you might think. They all provide your body with the energy it needs, but it's up to you to make choices that support your health and well-being. Carbohydrates, a key nutritional category, include sugars and molecules that your body breaks down to produce sugars. They are essential components of our diet and provide the energy our bodies need to function effectively. Now, carbohydrates can be simple or complex, depending on their chemical structure. Let's take a closer look. Simple sugars, known as monosaccharides, are the most basic form of carbohydrates. Glucose, fructose, and galactose are examples of these. Glucose is the primary source of energy for your body's cells, while fructose, commonly found in fruits, is converted into glucose in the liver. Galactose, part of lactose found in milk, is also converted into glucose. When two simple sugars bond, they form a disaccharide. Lactose, maltose, and sucrose are examples of disaccharides. Lactose is the sugar found in milk and dairy products. Maltose is found in certain vegetables and grains, and sucrose is your everyday table sugar. Complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, are made up of 3 or more linked sugars. If the chain consists of 3 to 10 sugars, it's called an oligosaccharide. And when the chain has more than 10 sugars, it's a polysaccharide. Starches and fibers are common examples of polysaccharides. Starches are stored by plants mostly for energy and are composed of glucose molecules linked by alpha bonds, which can be easily broken down by our digestive enzymes. Fibers, though, contain beta bonds that our body cannot break down. So why does this matter? Well, the structure of these carbohydrates, particularly in starch and fiber, significantly impacts how our body digests and absorbs them. During digestion, your body breaks down complex carbohydrates into monosaccharide building blocks, which are then used by your cells for energy. This process increases the sugar level in your blood, which is normally about a teaspoon. The understanding of these different types of carbohydrates and their digestion process is key to understanding their impact on our health and well-being. Not all carbohydrates affect your body in the same way. The structure of the carbohydrate, particularly in starch and fiber, significantly impacts digestion and absorption. Let's start with the digestion of carbohydrates. It begins in the mouth, where an enzyme called amylase starts breaking down the complex carbohydrates into simpler ones. The process continues as the food moves into the stomach and then to the small intestine. Here, the enzymes maltase, sucrase, and lactase further break down the carbohydrates into simple sugars, primarily glucose. This glucose then gets absorbed through the small intestine's walls into the bloodstream, ready to fuel our bodies. Now let's delve into the differences between starch and fiber. Starches, stored by plants mostly for energy, are composed of glucose molecules linked by alpha bonds. These bonds are easily broken down by our digestive enzymes, allowing the glucose to be swiftly absorbed into the bloodstream. This rapid absorption can lead to a spike in blood sugar levels, especially when consuming foods high in starch, such as white bread and crackers. In contrast, fiber is a type of carbohydrate that our bodies can't fully break down. Why? Because fiber contains beta bonds that our digestive enzymes cannot break. This means that fiber passes through our digestive system relatively intact. And while it may seem like a freeloader, it actually plays an essential role in our health. Fiber, particularly soluble fiber, can slow the digestion process and the release of glucose into the bloodstream. This gradual release helps prevent those sudden spikes in blood sugar levels we talked about earlier. Moreover, fiber aids in maintaining a healthy weight by promoting feelings of fullness, and it supports a healthy digestive system by adding bulk to the stool and promoting regular bowel movements. So while starch and fiber might both fall under the carbohydrate umbrella, their roles in our bodies are quite different. It's like comparing apples and oranges, or in this case, white bread and whole grains. So next time you're reaching for a snack, remember the difference between these two types of carbohydrates and what they mean for your body. Fiber can slow the release of glucose into the blood, providing a myriad of health benefits. Foods high in starch, such as crackers and white bread, are quickly digested, releasing glucose into the bloodstream and causing a spike in blood sugar levels. Now, this immediate surge might seem like a swift energy boost, but it's not necessarily beneficial. To understand why, we need to delve into the concept of the glycemic index. The glycemic index, or GI, is a ranking system for carbohydrates based on how they affect blood sugar levels. Food items are scored on a scale from 0 to 100, with higher numbers indicating a greater impact on blood sugar levels. The glycemic index is a useful tool for predicting how a specific food will affect blood sugar levels, and thus, how our bodies will respond. So, when we consume foods with a high glycemic index, like those starchy crackers and white bread we just talked about, our bodies break them down rapidly. This process leads to a quick rise in blood sugar, triggering a significant insulin response. However, this sudden spike and subsequent drop can leave us feeling tired and hungry again, just a short while after eating. In contrast, foods with a low glycemic index take longer to digest and absorb. They result in a slower, more steady release of glucose into the bloodstream. This gradual process helps us avoid those sharp peaks and valleys in blood sugar levels, providing a more sustained energy source and keeping hunger at bay for longer periods. Examples of low GI foods include legumes, dairy products, and most fruits and vegetables. These foods not only help maintain stable blood sugar levels, but also contribute to a well-rounded, nutrient-rich diet. Interestingly, the cooking method and ripeness of a food can also influence its glycemic index. For example, a ripe banana has a higher GI than a less ripe one, and boiled potatoes have a higher GI than roasted ones. So, as we navigate the world of carbohydrates, it's essential to consider not just the quantity, but also the quality of the carbs we consume. Foods rich in fiber, like vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, have a lower glycemic index due to the slower release of glucose. This slower release of glucose helps us maintain stable energy levels and contributes to overall health. The body's management of sugar involves insulin, a hormone that facilitates the transfer of glucose from the bloodstream into the cells for energy. This process, known as insulin sensitivity, is a key player in our overall health. Now, let's talk about what happens when things don't go quite as planned. High consumption of carbohydrates can lead to a condition called insulin resistance. This is when cells become less receptive to insulin, making it harder for glucose to enter the cells. Instead, it stays in the bloodstream, leading to high blood sugar levels. This persistent high blood sugar can give rise to metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that include increased waist circumference, high blood pressure, and elevated blood sugar levels. These conditions exponentially increase the risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. Alarmingly, up to 32% of the US population is affected by metabolic syndrome, underscoring the importance of mindful carbohydrate consumption. Given the complexities of carbohydrates and their impact on health, it's clear that not all carbs are created equal. Our daily food choices all carry their unique carbohydrate profiles. These choices can significantly impact our health in ways we might not immediately realize. Foods high in simple carbs like white bread and soda can rapidly increase blood sugar levels, potentially leading to conditions like insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. On the other hand, foods rich in complex carbs and fiber like whole grains and vegetables can help manage blood sugar levels and support overall health. The key here is mindful consumption. It's not about completely eliminating carbs from our diet, but rather understanding their effects and making informed choices. We've learned about the different types of carbohydrates, how they're digested and absorbed, and their impacts on our health. Now let's put this knowledge into practice. How can we make more mindful choices when it comes to carbohydrates? First, consider the type of carbohydrate. Choose complex carbs over simple ones. These include foods like whole grains, legumes, and vegetables, which not only help manage blood sugar levels, but also provide essential nutrients. Second, pay attention to portion sizes. Even healthy carbs can contribute to weight gain and other health issues when consumed in excess. Third, pair your carbs with protein and healthy fats. This not only creates a balanced meal, but also slows the digestion of carbs, preventing spikes in blood sugar levels. And finally, practice mindful eating. Pay attention to your hunger and fullness cues, savor your food, and avoid distractions while eating. Remember, it's not about cutting out carbs entirely, but about understanding their effects and making smarter, healthier choices. Thank you for joining us on this journey to decode carbohydrates and their hidden truths. We hope you've gained valuable insights into how carbohydrates impact your health and how you can make more mindful choices in your diet. If you found this video informative and useful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more enlightening videos like this. We're dedicated to providing you with reliable, science-backed information to help you lead a healthier, happier life. Also, if you think this video could benefit someone you know, don't hesitate to share it with your friends and family. When it comes to health, it's a shared responsibility. Every meal is an opportunity to nourish your body, and every choice you make directly impacts your well-being. So, make informed decisions and remember, it's not about deprivation, it's about balance and moderation. Stay healthy, stay happy, and we'll see you in our next video. Until next time, goodbye.